Cheers.
Cheers.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 15 of the Cheers to Comics podcast, where two of your friends are going to talk about their favorite comic books of the week, including characters, creators, news, and anything else underneath our illustrated sun. If you like that, then grab a beverage and join me, one of your hosts, Justin Jones. Along with me, as always, is the man who once wrestled two pygmy goats and lost. That is none other than Brian Wayne.
Yo!
Brian, how are you?
I'm good. I thought you said you weren't going to say anything about that.
Well, I'm just trying to, give out the cold hard facts here.
Well, then, whatever. It's out there. Anyways, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm getting ready for a trip to visit my grandparents out in Texas, so we're recording a little early.
We are. Thankfully, it was a light week for the publishers,
yes.
So it worked out well for us.
It did.
Next week, we'll be right back in the swing of things with the heavy
yes, we will.
pullers. We'll be talking about that more later on, though. In the meantime, I guess let's talk about what we're drinking this week.
Yeah, we're drinking a good little wheat beer.
We are. I decided it was my choice this week.
Yep.
So I decided to go with Goose 312 Urban Wheat Ale. And they are out of Elk Mountain Farm, Bonners Ferry, Idaho.
Boner Ferry.
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of your nicknames in high school?
It was one of many. One of many. Another thing you weren't supposed to be mentioning. You're just like...
my bad.
Dude, I don't have time to be editing this, man.
This beer just loosens at my tongue.
I guess so. Old Goose Island. Alright, so, thank you, Goose Island.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. This is actually pretty tasty, too. So,
Mm-hmm.
we're not just, like, choking it down like we have a couple of other beers in the past. I'm not gonna lie, some of them... And they were all my picks. Haven't been great. I try to get fancy sometimes. And...
I think I got a Scotch ale you didn't care for once.
That's true. That's true. But, hey, what are you gonna do?
Beer's beer.
Yeah, beer's beer. Shall we talk about the news?
What do you got?
I got a couple of things this week. Bill Maher's still a little bitch. I said it.
Yeah, I saw a couple of headlines.
He just can't fucking drop the fact that adults like comic books more than ever. He just can't drop it. And he brought it up again on his show this week, personally calling out Kevin Smith.
Oh.
And, it came up where, it's like, it's ridiculous that, adults go around dressing like kids, and they, showed a picture of Kevin Smith in his jersey, and, bullshit, fucking bullshit.
We like what we like. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and, he went on to say that, it's, a lot of people, argued with him that, it brings up social relevancies and injustices and things like that in comic books, and, that's how we learned it as kids. And Bill Maher retorted back, well, now you have pubes, so grow up. And it's like, come on, man, how fucking cynical could you be?
Here he is talking about comics.
He's been in a comic book movie. He was in fucking Iron Man, one of the Iron Man movies. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Iron Man 3. But, so, whatever. But the way Kevin Smith handled it, he handled it like a fucking boss. He made all of us look like, as a whole group of nerds, he made us shine. Because he didn't come out and fire back. He if anything, he gracefully just kind of let him have his moment. And I don't know. I can't say... There's no good way of actually giving credit to how he did it. It was just brilliant. He made Bill Maher look like he was 2 inches tall without saying a single negative word. He just made himself look that much bigger.
Well, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, no, and it's all over right now. I just learned about it today, but yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of headlines. I'm over the bad press on him.
Yeah,
he's a has-been and he's just looking for some more resonance.
Yeah. Oh, well, I remember one thing that Kevin Smith did actually say as a quote. He was like, Bill Maher, he talks tough and everything, but deep down he's a stoner, just like me being Kevin Smith. And he's like, if you go to confront the guy, he's a pussycat. He just, curls up and bows down. He's a fucking stoner. He's not gonna, clench his fists and fight in an argument. He's not. I don't know. He's
not that he should have to be, but
right. No, absolutely not. But it just goes to show that he's not as big and tough as his words come out to be, and
sure.
he's saying some pretty hurtful things that there's no way he could actually back up. Like if
he's selling an image.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all he's doing. He's just selling an image, and he just wants to be. Apparently, he wants his image to be that of a cuckold. So
I don't think that word means what you think that means.
Oh no, that's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what other news have you got for us?
Well, sad news actually. DC editor, longtime editor. He started out as a color editor, which they created a position for him 27 years ago.
Right.
In DC Comics. And
just as the digital platform was really evolving.
Exactly. And he rose his way to the top, and he's one of the original DC OGs. He knows the direction of DC and where it's going, and DC announced Wednesday they were going to be making some cutbacks, and about 3% of their job positions were completely eliminated, and one of those positions being that of Mark Chiarello's. So he's looking for a job now. I'm sure it won't be long before he lands something. I bet Marvel's licking their lips right now. If Todd McFarlane's a businessman, it'd make sense to bring him into Image.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, he did great things for DC Comics. And a lot of DC fans aren't necessarily mad that he was let go. They're more worried about the direction that DC is going to go now. That since he's kind of, not all the way, but essentially been laying the track down, if you will, for the train.
He's been a big foundation for many years.
For sure. So, sucks to hear, but like I said, he'll be back.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're interested, we're actually getting this story from Newsarama. It was written by Chris Arendt. Go over to Newsarama, look up the article. We can't do it justice, but yeah, we'll see what DC has in mind. I hope for Mark and his family that he lands on his feet and that he's no worse for the wear after this.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be just fine. Well, I think we should move on to the stuff that we read this week.
Let's do it.
It wasn't a super long pull list, but it was a good one. I enjoyed everything I read.
Yeah, I don't think I read anything bad this week.
So these were the books that came out on January 23rd. So let's get to it. Let's start with Image Comics. We got an Image number 1. Oliver, number 1, by Gary Whitta and Derek Robertson, along with Diego Rodriguez. And I got the variant cover by Glenn Fabry. Just looks cool.
Yeah, I didn't see that variant. I like that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It was right up there in the front, so I grabbed it.
I guess.
Yeah, so what
did you think about this one?
I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. Actually, it was the art that sells me on this. Derek Robertson's fucking fantastic, and Diego Rodriguez did an unbelievable job complimenting his pencils and inks. If you're not familiar with Robertson retrans Metropolitan, and I think that's one reason why I enjoyed this book so much, is I felt like I was reading a new issue of Transmetropolitan. It was just, I love that art style so much. Definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I did not read that, but yeah, I really enjoyed the art in this one for sure. For sure.
So let's talk about what's going on in here.
Yes,
it's a post-apocalyptic world, seemingly.
Definitely. Got this person in a hazmat suit walking across the wasteland.
Yeah, it seems to be some sort of I would say there was a nuclear war. They definitely relate to post-war.
Yeah.
So I would say there had to be nuclear fallout of some sort based off the hazmat suits, the mutations, the air that they talk about throughout this book, being able to breathe in the air, which actually separates a whole class of people. And we'll get to that shortly. So it starts out with the birth of Oliver. Mama dies, so he an orphan. We know that story.
Yep.
Classic Dickinson. Dickinson. Charles Dickinson?
Yep.
Dickinson. Got it. Alright. So yeah, no, why don't you go ahead and take it from here, because I'm sure this is definitely more your Steve.
They're really showing that these people aren't doctors. They're probably not even fathers, most of them. They keep alluding to, what's that big growth on his belly? Well, that's an umbilical cord. That's normal. oh, well, why is he crying? Oh, that's normal. He's breathing for the first time. But then they say something ain't normal, but they don't allude to what.
Right.
And then we show them having a big meeting with their big boss leader, and they're saying, well, we need to raise this boy. He's one of us now. And they're saying, well, no, we need to give him back or kill him. But the man who delivered him is pretty adamant against that, so he's left in charge of raising the boy.
Yeah, and the man who delivered him, definitely, he seems like he has more knowledge of, like, all of his peers going around everything. Like, everyone, all the people around him that, look similar to him. And I say, because almost all these people look almost identical.
Right, they're all bald in some way with maybe some kind of mutation.
Scars, mutations, whatever that is. But, yeah, no, but the one that delivered Oliver definitely has more knowledge as to the world that they're living in, and yeah.
Right. One thing that really confused me is that after they show him and they go, what's his name? Well, his name is Oliver. Well, it says only 3 years later.
This really fucked with me too, right, because then it shows him as like a 12-year-old.
Right, like this is a pubescent or prepubescent boy. I mean, this is not no 3-year-old.
Definitely not.
So something's up.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would like to think that wasn't a complete misstep,
mm-hmm.
But at the same time, in a world where it's clearly apocalyptic and shit ain't right genetically and all that, I mean, it would make sense to just like be that of a 12-year-old or 9-year-old. I don't know what kids look like these days.
I don't know. I really don't know. There's definitely something strange.
Strange indeed.
But anyway, he's running. He's about ready to jump off of a building, and he ends up vaulting across.
I think it's cool how he does it too. He like takes the broomstick and he just like totally vaults like it's nothing. It reminds me of like Mowgli in the Jungle Book.
Right.
Like it's just so natural.
Urban
like
Tarzan.
Yeah, raised by wolves and monkeys, just runs through the city like you were like swinging through vines. I don't know, like Aladdin or something. I don't know. I pictured so many cool things from my childhood while watching these couple panels of Oliver escaping through the city, all to be caught. Because he stole something.
He did, and it looks like a
war medal or something?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Not really sure what exactly it's supposed to represent. I'm no war expert.
I would say it's a war medal based off the person who is searching for it has a jacket of medals on it, if I recall correctly. Am I looking at this panel correctly? I don't know. Once he's confronted, I feel like
I don't know if he has any medals on him.
Where's the panel where he actually has the... Oh, maybe not. Okay, but either way, he's definitely a military man, based off the patches on his arm, I would say.
It appears so. It seems like everybody in this group probably is, though.
Yeah. But I don't know. But the guy that is chasing him clearly has a vendetta against Oliver because he's not like the rest of them. And then they allude the factor of why he's different, and Oliver gets a talking to by, I'm going to go ahead and call him his foster dad at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I
think it's a safe,
adequate.
Yeah. So he starts explaining things, but then Oliver asks him a little more in depth as to what about him, and he says, you're not ready to know now, or something like that.
Yeah, but anyway, they end up going on this little journey. He says, well, here, I'm going to show you why the world the way it is, and I guess they go to like an old movie theater and they're looking at old black and white reels of the war.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really just setting this up to be like a post-apocalyptic world. They're keeping their secrets close at hand, but
this is so fucking good, man.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
A twist on an Oliver Twist story. Yeah, I know. I didn't mean that, but it happened. Sorry, guys. I don't know how far this is going to go. I don't know if this is going to be like a 12-issue thing. I don't know if this is going to be 50 issues, but I am fully on board.
Yeah.
Like, I am so intrigued by what could happen out of this. Like, this
his
new
art
take
is really good.
Seriously.
And it's written by the same man who wrote the Book of Eli. So he's got that post-apocalyptic world writing down.
Yep, and I love the Book of Eli. Like if you look on the shelf there, you see Transmetropolitan. If you flip through there, like the art in there, like, the Diego Rodriguez, the way he complements the color on this compared to the colorist for Transmetropolitan, like, you could
definitely
just see
different, but I can see the similarity.
Oh yeah, no, It's awesome. And Transmetropolitan is a post-apocalyptic thing. So Robertson's obviously very, very inept in doing this type of style.
Cool.
I fucking love this.
Heck yeah.
For sure. That was a light week for indie books, though. The only other indie book I read was actually a DC Vertigo title that was Lucifer. And I don't know how in depth I can go on about Lucifer.
I want to hear something about it.
Well, we got it's Lucifer number 4, Dan Waters, Sebastian, and Max Fuamara, and Dave McKeag. So Lucifer is really, I don't know how to explain the plot at all, other than it's just a whole lot of trickery that you would expect out of a character named Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
It's brutal, it's gritty, it's grotesque. I read it twice and needed a shower afterwards. Like, it was...
Jeez.
It was good, man. I look forward to this. Unfortunately, I just don't know how much I can talk about without having to talk about the previous 3 issues and all that. Like, I feel like if I talked about Lucifer, I'd have to talk for 20 or 30 minutes about
That's how I felt about Dream. Like, it's really good, but I feel like I have to mention everything to have a cohesive story.
Right. We got, like, these 2 witches that are trying to find their third, so there's trickery getting involved, and one of the witches... and then Lucifer thinks he has the perfect witch for the thing, and then she betrays the covenant immediately and, like, goes off, and at that point, the guy that she was trying to save in exchange by offering herself up ends up getting fucked even further. So then at this point, he has a vendetta against her and her boyfriend, husband, acquaintance of some sort. So it's a lot of... That's fucking awesome, man. Dan Waters, is it Dan Waters? Yeah, Dan Waters does an amazing job writing this, and the art, Sebastian Fuamara, maybe my favorite panel, definitely my favorite panel of the week, belongs to a certain panel, and here I'll show you real quick.
Yeah, I want to see this.
It's fucking awesome. It's like I said, it's so gross. And I gotta quote the line too. He said he had magic in his veins. I was simply searching. What did he say? Yeah, he said he had magic in his blood. I'm simply searching each artery, trying to find it. And you could see him all strung up there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, man. Lucifer. Hail Satan, bitches.
I do like that art. That's gritty. I like that.
Yes, it is. Did you have any other indie books?
I did. One by IDW. I checked out The Spider King. Issue number 1 called Frostbite. Again, not a whole lot to really talk about here. It seems to be just a band of adventurers. I'm not sure if this is just part 1 or issue 1 for this run, or if this is already an established group. I don't know. But we've got this giant donkey. We have these 2 half-pint. One of them looks like to be like a halfling. One of them looks like a noseless elf or a alien. They've got like these weird, brightly colored technomancer-looking melee weapons. It looks like it's part apocalyptic sci-fi, part fantasy.
What's the name of this?
The Spider King.
The Spider King?
The Spider King.
Alright. I want to look at some covers.
Yeah, I didn't bring it, so...
Yeah. But...
It's the Spider King Frostbite right there.
Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh man, that cover's fucking cool.
Yep. So we've got Josh Van and Simone
Diamani.
Yep. Yeah, I mean I like the color, I like the character designs. It's wacky, it's weird, but at the same time violent and grotesque.
This is a one-shot.
Is it just one shot?
Seemingly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
IDW one-shot. Bam.
Oh, cool. Well.
Yeah, it's like very reminiscent of like a Scotty Young
sort
type
of. Yeah, it was entertaining.
Art. Yep.
So look up. Was there anything else by the Spider King? Is this like a pre-established story hook, or is this just a random one shot?
I don't know. Let's see here. Good old Google. All right. Spider King Frostbite.
I think Frostbite is just this one shot. I think it's just the Spider King.
I'll just do Spider King IDW. Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
I guess this is a full-fledged story. I'll have to look
All
it
right,
up.
cool. Yeah, man. Well, if you liked it, then it's definitely something that
I'm interested. My interest is definitely piqued.
Sweet, man. Yeah. I might have to check out a digital copy of this.
Right on.
Fucking A. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just had to see for myself. Like,
no, I really don't have a whole lot to say here. I mean, they're on their way to a Viking-esque town, Brodheim or Brodheim. Can't remember the name of it. Sorry, but I guess they're searching between crashes. They say, well, where's the next crash? Oh, the next crash isn't for miles and miles. Well, they get close to the territory that they're looking for, and instead of the usual happy greeting, there's a pile of skulls that are froze over. Well, this isn't normal. So they press on, and there's a giant wolf with its bones glowing outside of its body, and the man they're waiting for, his like ornamental jewelry wrapped around its neck. And it says that it ate them and devoured them, and they need to turn back. Well, of course they don't turn back because they're the heroes of comic books, so yeah. They end up finding out that this is another alien crash that came around this planet, and it has infected all the animals in the forest and controls them. Well, they get to the town after fighting many animals, and they find out that this was an alien creature, and that all these creatures were creatures that had eaten a part of it, because they had just left him out in the cold to die. And so in turn, since they ate his flesh, he took theirs, and he is now immortal, kinda, through them. But they end up slaying most of them, and one of the little alien guy who was working on his magic crossbow previously in the story, instead of blasting the enemies, he ends up using it as like a Ghostbusters vacuum and sucks the soul into it. Oh. And then all these wild animals just escape, and they burn down the village, and end of the story.
Shit.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'm not doing it justice.
Fucking A. Well, I might have to check it out. I have some extra time this week, and I kind of had to like speed read all my books. Or not necessarily speed read, but read in a crunch time.
Right. Like,
so I got a few extra days before comics come out, so I might just check this out.
Yeah, Is it
an oversized issue? Did it was it? Not sure.
Not really.
No. Okay.
I didn't really pay attention.
Gotcha.
Nah, I don't think it was though.
No. All right. Oh, fuck it. Let's move on to DC. Right after we get some more beers. We'll be back in a second. And we're back with beers. Once again, thank you, Goose312. You spilled that all over yourself.
Just me, though.
Fucking amateur, dude. Amateur. Alright. We were talking about DC Comics.
Yeah, let's talk about it. When do you want to start?
Shazam!
Shazam!
Jeff Johns, Marco Santucci, and Mike Matea? I said that wrong. Maybe. And, let's see, the cover by Dale Eaglesham and Alex Sinclair.
Let's talk about Shazamless.
So, yeah. Actually, lack of Shazam. But still a fun read.
Yeah.
It starts out how where the last one left off. God, I fucked that all up. Try that again. It starts where the last one left off, where it ended with the real father of Billy Batson showing up to the foster house.
I'm Billy's dad.
Right. So then you get the foster parents arguing about, how to deal with that. And then they go into the room,
all the different rooms, all the kids are gone.
All the kids gone.
As we know from the last issue, though, that these kids are in the Shazam world, and they followed a tunnel through a doorway that wasn't there before.
Right.
Wasn't open before?
Yeah, they find the Rock of Eternity, and they find this big map, and they got these 7 different magic lands to choose from, and they're all kind of going back and forth as to which land to go to. And eventually they land on Funland.
Who doesn't want to go to Funland?
Right, and they describe it as Disneyland on steroids. So I'm in. Like, that's
sounds great.
Yeah,
especially as a kid. Heck yeah.
Right. So while in Funland, I don't remember. Oh wait, no. Let's cut to
hold on. Let's just finish off the kids' arc. So they are in Funland, and everything seems too good to be true, but there seems to be a kid that's running away. And they're like, oh no, but it's your birthday, it's your cake day. Like, well, this kid's running away. Who runs away from cake? So they're investigating that. Of course, the foster parents know the kids are gone. And that's really all we kind of get for the kids this arc.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on. They're enjoying
the foster parents, which we've kind of already covered.
But then we jump to Mr. Mind and what's going on with all of that. So we got Dr. Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what his arc is, but right now he's being controlled by Mr. Mind. And Mr. Mind is pretty much he's a brain worm, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly OP. I love that I love the introduction they give him on here, like a full page like book spread.
Synopsis, yeah.
I love
monster
that.
manual page.
Yes, exactly. A monster manual page. Yes. He looks cute and cuddly, but he'll destroy your world.
Yeah.
So so we get villains here, and then we're going through Funland. It's not the end of the kids. They're going through Funland, and we get a new appearance, a first appearance of King Kid.
The 7th Shazam.
7th champion.
Right.
Yes. So I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm expecting a lot more Shazam than none in the next issue. But this is, I technically considered a key issue depending on what happens with King Kid, but we got a first appearance here.
Fair.
So, and I like the design there. The color's amazing. Mike Atea. I like it. I like it a lot. Perfect color choice throughout all of this. I mean, all of the illustrations are hyper detailed.
Oh, I really like the art in this for sure.
It's great. It's great. It's just not as actiony as I would hope for, to be honest.
Yeah, I really don't know much about Shazam, so this is all new for me.
Yeah, we're getting more of the kid side and the journey into mystery, if you will. But
yeah, I didn't even know there was a whole team of them.
I don't know dick about Shazam. Yeah. I really don't. But I'm enjoying what Jeff Johns is doing, and I'm continuing to subscribe.
Yeah,
not dropping
I've liked everything I've read so far.
Yeah. Shall we?
Yeah.
Alright, Batman, number 63, Tom King, Mikel Janin, and Jordi Bellaire.
Guest starring Constantine.
Yes, we got a Constantine story here, and this is Nightmares, Part 3. They're calling this little segment Smoke and Mirrors. And so, what we're getting out of this is I guess I can go ahead and give it away. It's a dream sequence again.
Right.
I think it'd be silly to not suspect anything otherwise, because you get Batman and Selina in a world where they actually get married. So they're off being coupled and loving life and all of this stuff, and they go off and do this, they're still superheroes in their own way.
Right. But there's always Constantine there.
Yeah, Constantine is in Batman's ear the whole time, and he's warning him, you need to watch Selina, she's going to go down, she's going to
be bloody, dead in your arm in a few days.
Yep. So, and then Batman's off on his own mission dealing with Two-Face, and then he realizes, and then Constantine goes off and says, yeah, but where's Selina? And he's like, oh, she's capable.
She's at the other stadium.
Right. And then it cuts to him holding her in his arms, and he goes, and Constantine is in the background in his creepy way, and he's like Joker, and he was like, no, it was a sniper, just like with Dick. And so there's, I don't know, definitely a lot of mindfuckery, if you will, just really tugging on what seems to be irking Bruce right now.
Sure.
And then Constantine goes on to explain that there's this, it's the Scarecrow fear gas that's causing all of this. Batman's actually tied up, and then Batman's like, you're not actually Constantine, are you?
Oh, are you here to get me out? No, I'm here to tell you you're never going to get out.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so even, they mention even the dream that he had with Professor Pig and revealing Damian Wayne as his son, so they know the type of dreams he's having, so these are clearly being induced, and I'm guessing someone's trying to get secrets out of him of some sort via his dreams. And
I mean, this would make sense. There's a lot troubling Bruce right now, so if they are fucking with an already broken Batman, I mean, he's crumbling from all sides. He's got left at the altar, his boy was shot in the head, and
he's visiting this, he's having to live this world, I can't say relive, but live this world that he really wanted. The honeymoon with
and then
Selina.
It chases down to all of his fears.
Yeah, it's just like I said, really, really kicking him in the dick
Yeah.
And the brain dick, if you will.
We got a broken Batman.
For sure. How much of this do you think has to do with Bane? Do you think Bane is playing any part of this? Do you think he has some guys on the outside really fucking... Because he's already fucked with... Like, I think that was the start of Batman really questioning his sanity at that point.
Right.
With the whole, beating up a poor, defenseless, quote-unquote, Bane.
Right.
And then it obviously is pulling the strings, just like Penguin said. And then we get these 3D dream sequences right afterwards. No reference to Bane or Penguin or anything like that.
But is Bane pulling secrets? Cause,
well, that's what I'm asking.
I mean, we even had that run where all Batman was doing was beating up villains and asking them and getting nothing.
Right. Well, I think... Well, no, because that smirk at the end of that one issue that Bane has. When he's in,
Bane could smirk.
No, the Bane wouldn't smirk. Especially after that fucking ass whooping that he just took. Like, he's in ICU because of a horrific ass whooping.
But maybe he's not the figurehead here. Maybe he's also just a pawn who knew that, Bane, he's good at taking a beating. He can take that. If he knows there's another master plan to bring Batman down.
Well, maybe he's not the guy, but Bane's definitely not a pawn in all this. He might be a general. If anything, I mean, because he's definitely has an army he's directing. Like, he's got Penguin under his thumb and all this other stuff. Bane's definitely not a pawn.
This discussion is a sign of good comic.
Oh, no, for sure. I mean, no, this is this is why I read comics. But there's this... Tom King does such a good job of leaving us with question. And they're not going to go unanswered. They're obviously going to answer these questions. One thing I worry about, though, is that I don't know how long it's going to take because we got, I think, one more issue before we get 3 issues that are just like a Flash Batman tie-in.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to divert from the story completely because they're not going to be written by Tom King. We've got a guest writer coming in for 3 issues. Tom King had secret TV stuff he had to deal with for a while, so they had to bring someone in to...
Do we know what he's doing for TV yet?
No. No, we don't. We'll find out, I'm sure, because Tom King, I know he's seething. He wants to tell us. I know he wants to tell us.
In due time, whenever it's ready. Cool. Yeah. I like this one. I like everything that's been happening in Batman lately. I know that there's a large majority of people who don't, but... I
know a lot of people are pissed off since the wedding issue, and that's why I think this issue's so great, because they, like, revisit the reason why people are so pissed off.
It had me for a second. I was like, oh, wait, did they get married? Did something else happen?
Nah, I knew better than that. No, I knew better than that. That fucking cover, though, let me tell you about that cover. That's pretty badass.
That's a good cover.
It is. Anything else with DC? Did you read any more DC comics? I didn't. I wanted to read Aquaman, but I forgot, so I'll be doing that late.
I don't think you read Justice League, though, right?
I did read Justice League. It's very convoluted and Martian Manhunter-y, and I like it. I like the stories more when there's team involved, and this is like very just stuff. It's an info dump, is what this is.
Yeah.
And it's just page and page and page after just information.
Hmm.
And I couldn't
do dialogue.
Oh yeah, I couldn't do any justice by actually talking about this.
Fair.
So I'm not gonna talk about it. Definitely read it though. I mean, I suggest you read it too, because it's if this book isn't important, then they just wasted 20 pages of amazing fucking dialogue and shit. But
all right, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, no. Shall we move on to Marvel?
Moving along to Marvel.
A Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #2. Or Legacy numbering 26, Mother of Exiles, is the story arc here. Tom Taylor, Juan Cabal, and Nolan Woodard, cover by Andrew C. Robinson. Did you read A Friendly Neighborhood?
I did. I caught up on the first issue and read this one.
Sweet. So, in the last issue, Spidey is left with a couple of orange kids and some laundry that was left behind by that missing Goyle.
Yep.
And so he's having to deal with that. He's like explaining himself, realized the kids aren't, they clearly don't look like Earthlings on account of their white eyes and orange skin. But, so yeah, Spidey is explaining who he is. The kids are just like, whatever. But he realizes that he needs some sort of babysitter where he goes to figure things out, and he decides that Johnny Storm is the guy for this.
Yeah, odd choice.
Right. But in the meantime, the old lady, she shows up in the apartment, and At this point, she clearly knows that Pete is Spider-Man, and she's trying to hide that she knows.
Right.
She gives him a heads up that there's somebody watching the building. Pete looks outside, realizes it's the same guy that sucker punched the shit out of him when he went to go check up on his... I can't remember the girl's name. Do you remember the girl's name?
I don't.
Yeah, as we flip through this, maybe it'll come up again. But, yeah, so he looks outside, sees that guy. And then meanwhile, Johnny Storm is on the way. And he's like, well, shit, this guy can't see Storm flying in here. So he, like, webs him real fast in the face to blind him. Storm comes in. Then he goes to look outside to go confront the guy with the web on his face. The guy's pulling the web off his face.
No, he pulls his face off.
Yeah, and Spidey's like, that's not coming off without your whole face coming off.
Fair enough.
And his whole fucking face came off.
Yeah.
And I can't tell if he's orange-skinned or red-skinned. I don't know if at first I was like, is that fucking Red Skull? But it's not Red Skull.
No, definitely not.
No. So, yeah, no, he just starts, like, pummeling the building. Like, just trying to take the building down.
Creating a distraction.
Right. Spider-Man goes to fight him. Dude gets away, but not before Spider-Man takes the whole bumper and license plate off.
Saves a few people's lives.
Saves some lives. Detective shows up, and this detective just so happened to be the same detective that Spidey saved earlier. So there's
saved her husband and daughter.
Right. So there's a closer connection there. Spidey feels like he can divulge a little more information on account of how grateful she is.
She
feels like she's genuine.
On the law side that
is
a fan of his.
Right.
So he keeps her business card by his junk.
Yep. And then they meet up again to get the information about the license plate. And then he tracks him down based off of that information. And we go to get this rematch, and right before he goes to fight him, the old lady, I can't remember her name, Marnie shows up, and at this point you realize that she a bad bitch.
Yep. The Rumor.
Yep, and we got another first appearance here.
Yeah.
Of the Rumor. She's in this superhero gear, and she fucks up.
Is this the first appearance? Because I had never heard of her. I was hoping you might know who she is.
Yeah, no, this would be the first appearance.
That's awesome.
Yep. So we got a new character here. It is a week of first appearances. Who else do we have a first appearance of? And no, it was we'll be talking about it later. We got more. We got a first appearance of the One Below All this week. We got a first appearance of Rumor, and who was it in the last one? King Kid and Shazam. So, bam.
Cool.
Key books, bitches. So yeah, and that's where that ends off. And she reveals that she knows Pete's secret because she calls Spider-Man Pete, and he's like, "Wait a second."
But she's a tough bitch. I mean, she just lays this guy that
seriously,
even
like,
Spider-Man had a little bit of a problem with.
Exactly.
Like he's nothing.
Like nothing. And I don't know. I just had a feeling from the beginning that she was just like too steezy from the get-go.
I got a very full social life.
Exactly. Yeah. She's just way too steezy.
I liked her at first. She was just that sassy old lady. I was like, all right, cool.
No, and this is not like a first appearance of a character that's going to be world-bending. Right. This is a friendly neighborhood first appearance. Like,
hey man, I can't wait for the first volume of The Rumor.
Right? Yeah, issue number 1 of The Rumor. Coming soon.
It could happen.
No, it won't. It won't. There's too much Spider-Man stuff going on already, like Superior Spider-Man number 2, Legacy number 35, Christos Gage, Mike Hawthorne, Wade von Grutenberger, Raw Badger. I said that wrong, sorry. Raw Badger. Victor Olazaba and Jordi Belair. Cover by Travis Charles. Once again, I thought we were oversaturated with Spider titles, but I'm reading them all, and they're all fucking really good, and they keep getting better. So, I think I'm subscribed to all of the Spider-Man titles now.
Wow.
And
that's a lot of books.
Superior Spider-Man just like jumped its way up its list in my Spider titles with this one.
Tell me about it.
This is fucking awesome. This is action-packed. There is not a single panel in here that is not dealing with action or like intense under pressure drama. Sorry, the beers are working. So we got Terrax. He's just tearing up the town. He is a just cosmic entity, if you will. Like, the dude is just unstoppable. He's got this badass axe he's using to fuck everything up. And Superior Spider-Man is the town's only hope. All of the other heroes are occupied. The Avengers are out in space doing something or something. The Guardians of the Galaxy aren't necessarily formed at this point or disbanded. As far as these guys' knowledge, everybody's busy. So it's down to just Otto, who is recently a bad guy, you know, so...
Right.
Whoops! And so he is single-handedly trying to stop this Terrax character, and he is just getting fucking owned. But he's taken this beating and he just won't give up. And the fact that he is just so resilient in this, and he's constantly like giving a status report. I'm like, oh, I'm now like 3rd-degree burns on my back and 3 broken ribs and internal bleeding and blah blah blah. So they're reiterating on how much of an ass whooping he's actually taking.
Right.
But he just keeps fucking getting up on this fight. Well, he has his contingency plan, and it involves this Anna girl who's back at his labs, who is very...
The love of his life.
Well, yeah, she's not 100% certain on Otto's capabilities of being a hero. So she's back at the lab, but Otto has these spider bots working about creating something, but time is really just a crunch at this point. He can't take much more of a beating, like he's going down. So he has to, Anna, will you help?
Right. So
she goes to help, and she's able to get this device that was once used by Doom, I guess, at this point. But meanwhile, in order to continue to draw out time, Otto calls his very misfit group of not even reformed bad guys. They're bad guys working for him. And goddamn, are these guys like D-listers.
Oh, right, like the Grave Digger and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they're called the Night Shift. So, Gravedigger, is that his name, Gravedigger?
I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no, he shows up to fight Terrax, and he like hits him in the face with a shovel, and you're like, oh shit, these guys are capable. And then Terrax just like swipes him and like cuts him in half. He's like a scarecrow type of thing. So then the rest of the team are like, retreated. They like each grab a half of them, and they're like, we gotta go to the craft store and sew this guy back up, and blah blah.
Because that works.
So you still get your Spider-Man comedy out of this that you're not gonna get out of Otto.
Right.
So you get your comedic relief, because I mean Otto's dialogue, they definitely have the voice down.
He's very straight faced.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Very much so. Like I can hear him talk in my head. So eventually Anna shows up. And she has a device, and she, Otto puts it on Terrax, and he goes to use it, and Terrax is like, it didn't work. And then Otto, in the most Ottoist of ways, is like, oh no, it works just fine. Check out my cosmic powers, bitches! So, now we got a cosmic, super-powered Spider-Man. Another key issue. First appearance of cosmic-powered Superior Spider-Man.
Alright.
Yeah, what do you know? So, I very much enjoyed this. I like the way it's written. It's completely action-packed. The art is on point. It's just carnage, and without carnage, actually. But yeah, no, there's just destruction, and it's fucking awesome. I like it a lot.
Nice.
I am fully subscribed to Superior Spider-Man. I told myself not that I didn't like issue 1 by any means, it's just that I'm overloaded with Spider-Man titles. It's like if issue 2 is not, like, amazing, I'm dropping it.
Right, and of course it is.
It's fucking amazing,
yeah.
So shout out to Christos Gage. Moving along. Alright. This next one here, I was kind of reluctant to read because I didn't necessarily like the way that the previous issue was told. But I did a 180 after reading this.
I'm really enjoying this arc. It's very poetic, very artistic in its way, but I love the duality between like this horror, almost like this H.P. Lovecraft type of horror, like this existential horror, and this like religious vibe, really showing like the divide in the character.
For sure. Mortal Hulk, number 12, Legacy 729, Al Ewing, Joe Bennett, and Eric Nguyen. Cover by the great Alex Ross. So, what we're getting out of this is more insight on the relationship between Bruce and his father at a young age, why the hatred is there.
Right.
The connection to gamma radiation. And, man, I feel like we can really go through this story.
Let's do it.
Alright. So, it starts out, and once again, a poetic manner, and the birth of Banner. And then we get immediate aggression between Brian Banner, Bruce's dad, and Bruce. He's like going off about his... I'm just going to go and call them Legos, because they're obviously Legos. But yeah, and you get this violent toss, and then you get the first bit of rage that you see out of a young Bruce. He like picks up the glass that his dad just threw at him, and then he smashes it through this Lego town that he just built.
Smash!
And you see like the green hue over his skin and all of that stuff. So, I like the way that's told. You're getting a very, I mean, you see the anger there, for sure.
You got a loveless father full of anger that... Obviously, that's where Bruce gets it.
Yep. And then it cuts to Hulk in Hell with this doctor and her dad, I believe. Yeah, it's definitely her dad. I don't know the names, though. I don't remember. It's been a month. But yeah, he's going through hell, and then you get this emotional thing where he's like, smash, smash, into why am I so sad?
Right.
So
Hulk hurt all the time.
Right. And... she goes on to explain how, you know, Banner has this dissociative identity disorder, and she's talking to Hulk. She's like, yeah, you've been in control for a while now. And they're like, well, let's find Banner, because they're in hell. You know, apparently
so, well,
Banner is in a different part. Am I getting this right? Did I read that right?
So she says that, you know, like, well, you are in charge, except for during the day. Oh, day, Banner time.
You're right.
Well, what time is it now? Where is Bruce? I don't know. But then we cut to Banner in this like field of gamma being held prisoner by his father.
Yes. So that is Banner that I'm seeing in
yes.
that. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. So while in hell, Banner and Hulk are actually two separate entities.
Yes.
Alright. And Banner is trapped in this gamma door that he unlocked, or at least the radiation coming from this gamma door that he and not Abomination, Creel.
Absorbing Man.
Absorbing Man. There we go. I knew it was AB. Okay. Absorbing Man opened up in a few issues ago.
Yep.
So we get this awesome dark dialogue from Dad going on to explain why the hatred is there, the connection between.
I never have any love in my house. That's why I couldn't tell your mother. I can't do kids. I couldn't tell her.
No.
But then she surprised me, and you were all she loved. That's why I hated you. And just this sick justification in his head.
And then it shows this panel of the dad. I don't know if that was the death of Bruce's mom that he was causing there.
I believe so. Him bashing her head to the ground.
So, and then he goes on to explain, like, and then you killed me in cold blood at your mother's gravestone. I was sent to hell. But then I was sent even further. And
then you killed me again. Yep. Sent me even further into hell.
Well, it wasn't. He says it wasn't you. It was the monster. So he realizes that it was the Hulk.
Right.
So there's still I don't know. I'm still somewhat confused as to what's going on here. I think there's still stuff that needs to be answered, right? This wasn't all the info right here, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Like, how is he planning to do this? Who else is behind this?
Okay. Gotcha. Because at first, for a second, I'm like, Bruce's dad's the one below all? And
I don't think so.
No, it's not. Because then he goes on to say, I was sent even further.
Right.
And then he goes on, and then you see it cuts to Puck and Absorbing Man in that part of hell, the even down further part. Mm-hmm. And they're the first ones to see the one below all. And it is...
giant monstrosity.
Right. And
so,
then,
oh no, this is the destruction of worlds.
But then the dad explains that the one below all is only capable of manipulating the real world. He needs a body or a vessel to actually interact. So apparently that has been the Hulk. From what I'm getting out of this,
he's been using his father is planning to use Bruce the same way the Hulk was.
Hold on, explain that. What do you mean?
Because Bruce is currently the door between the gamma world and the physical world. I think I could be wrong. Maybe I'm reading this wrong.
Okay.
So maybe he's wanting to use Banner to get back into the physical world. Just like the Hulk uses Banner to manifest in our world.
Okay. Alright. Where does the one below all fit in on this? Because he needs the vessel. So are you saying, by saying he's going to use, do you mean Brian or the one below all?
Maybe through the one below all, Banner's father. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Definitely makes me want to read the next issue. That's for sure. Because that last one, like the way. So if we just kind of describe the last few panels here, he's saying, well, how can we fight that? Or the professor, she sees the one below all with the Hulk and everything. She's like, how can we fight that? And he's like, that creep. He's not the end of the world. Oh,
how
McGee. That's
so sure.
And then Hulk.
Because I am.
And then the breaker of worlds. Like Hulk is the world breaker.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if Hulk is all of a sudden switching sides and he's with the one below all, or like that smirk there is like, I'm about to go whoop this motherfucker's ass.
I think this is the Hulk thing. Nah, I'm gonna kick this dude's ass. Just wait and see.
Okay, so he's going to break the world below.
Wrong. Maybe
he's going to be the breaker
Hulk
of the world
now.
below. I don't think so, man. I think the Hulk's been doing such a good job of finding himself. Like, that would be such a bad twist. I mean, I don't mean bad, but like an unexpected twist. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
This has been a really good read, though.
Yes, and because the one below all is such a huge reveal in the world of Marvel Comics.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually going to be giving away a copy of this. Now on eBay right now, last I looked, it's going for like $15 an issue or something like that. If this character continues to develop, and it will, I think the value on this book is going to just continue to go up. So stay tuned to Twitter, and we'll be giving instructions on how to win your very own copy of this book for free.
Yeah, hit us up.
Yes. Moving along. Uncanny X-Men. Annual.
Number one,
Ed Brisson. Carlos Gomez and Guru Effects did the colors. Cover by Salvador LaRoche and Rachel Rosenberg. I fucking love these colors. Alright. Well, it is the end of the 10-part Uncanny X-Men X-Man extravaganza. We've been promised Cyclops. We have been delivered Cyclops.
Yeah, definitely.
And here we go. Cyclops is back. We get this montage of deaths and why and whatnot. And then this is very, very, very heavily related to the 5-part Extermination series that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
With the young Cable killing regular Cable and the repercussions of all of that. I didn't actually read it. And through the first half of this, I was like, probably should have fucking read that. But towards the end, I was like, I think they did a good job of summing some shit up.
I think they told us everything we need to know right now.
At least, yeah, need to know, I would say. There's probably a lot of stuff that we should have read that we missed out on.
Sure.
But how much of it vital? I don't fucking know.
Can't read everything.
Can't read everything. And I really like how they do this old school style.
Throwback, yeah.
Of the, Cyclops saving this guy.
The old 60s, 70s style.
Right. He saves this guy that in the long run turns out to be the guy that brings him back to life because young Cable shows up to this guy and he's like, hey, I need you to be the one to fix this Phoenix Force holding machine.
You owe Cyclops a favor,
yep.
So
I'll be back in 2 years, see you then.
Yep.
And he goes off and he accomplishes it. He's able to bring Cyclops back via this thing.
It captures a part of the Dark Phoenix.
Yes. And then you get this kind of environment where Cyclops is kind of pissed off at his son. He's like, "Let me out! I've been alive long enough. Like I got resolved business to do. I gotta go see so and so. I gotta go see so and so." And Nathan's just like, "Not yet. It's not time yet." And then you realize what he's waiting for. He's waiting for the events of the X-Men, war and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he presents him with a choice. He's like, right now, the guy that originally you saved, the guy
who brought you back to life.
Right, that brought you back to life, that you saved many a year ago. The villain in that situation is getting out of jail, and he's terrorizing this guy's family.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I just drooled on myself.
All of your friends are fighting, Nathan, and they're about ready to get exterminated. And I need to know what kind of Cyclops came back from that grave.
Yep.
Who are you going to save?
And then you realize that he goes and he saves the Who-Men.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize that you get this same... They get a Cyclops that's not a dick.
Yeah, I hope it stays that way for quite a while.
He goes off and explains, it's... I gotta develop, not only go after my own kind, especially with the shit that he just went through, like having to, he killed Professor X to be able to save the mutants from, the war of the Inhumans and all this other stuff, and he's very pro-mutant, anti-mutant, and for him to go off and not do the Cyclopsy thing and change his ways, I think we're going to get a cool Cyclops here. And especially at the end where he's like, oh no, we need to go get the rest of the X-Men. And then you see a smirking young Cable. And
they're going to get the rest of the team.
I like the design of Cyclops here too. It's like old school.
I do too. And
with a new school suit at the same time.
This is the first time I'm seeing this kind of Cable, and I dig it.
Yeah.
I like this design.
I got a lot. Young Cable's cool. It does make me want to go through and read the Extermination arc, the 5 issues.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue on in X-Men Uncanny on number 11. So.
Yeah, I was a little worried on how they're going to continue these Uncanny X-Men's, and so far I'm liking what we've got.
Yeah.
This has been a fun trip so far.
Yeah, Matthew Rosenberg's going to be taking the reins on his own from here on. No more. Yeah, and
right on.
I think he's fucking perfect for it, Matthew.
I really like his writing.
Yes, absolutely.
Another writer that we both enjoy
quite a bit. Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw, along with Marte Garcia, wrote another Marvel 1, Guardians of the Galaxy. We were both very, very, very excited. This is a highly anticipated book for us, along with
very cool team.
Yes. And the story, it's not even the complete team.
Right.
Like where's Darkhawk? There's a lot of people on this cover that hasn't shown up yet. Like Nova. Haven't seen Nova yet. We've seen
Nova Corps, but we haven't seen the Nova. Right.
And then Adam Warlock. You saw like a glimpse of him in the background at one point, in like the very first panel, or not the first panel, but second page. You see him way back here, but he's not lit up like the rest of the Guardians. Yeah. Oh, I studied that one. I was like, who the fuck's in there? There's some cool ones in there, man. There's some bunch of people that I don't know either. Like I see Sentry in there. Like what the fuck is Sentry doing in there? That's way OP. At least I think that's Sentry.
Well, who else would you want combating
Maybe that's
Thanos possibly?
Yeah, right? So, speaking of Thanos, we got Star Fox here, Thanos' brother, explaining that
Thanos dead,
but he ain't. He did. He uploaded his mind into a mystery body, and no one knows who it is. And it seems like their first guess is Gamora would be the obvious thing on account of she's a villain now.
Gamora must die.
Right. So Star Fox is recruiting these people with differing morals that would be of like the Avengers of sorts.
Right, people who aren't afraid to kill one person to save the galaxy.
Exactly, and he explains that killing will be a thing. There will be killing.
Right.
There's no way around it.
Take any chances here.
Right.
Thanos cannot reign again.
Yes. And then they get invaded by the fucking Black Order.
Of course they do.
And the Black Order has these motives of bringing Thanos' body back so they could try to resurrect him. So I'm thinking that they don't know that Thanos is still out there. I don't know. I fucking love the way that Donny Cates writes a book.
Or maybe they still expect Thanos to be reborn into somebody else, but maybe they're hoping to give him his body back?
But the fact is they only have his body. They don't have his head.
Right, his head's still gone.
Right, and we'll get to that in a second. So, and then it cuts to Quill and Groot punk rock Groot fucking whittling spikes out of his shoulders.
Of course, yeah.
So fucking punk rock, man.
I like this Groot a lot.
And he speaks English, too.
Yeah, right. It's not just I am Groot.
Yeah. But I like how Groot's like, fuck you. And Quill's like, I am Groot to you, too.
Yep.
It's pretty fucking dope. But they got a new ship. And they're no longer on the Milano.
Milano's gone.
Milano's gone. Now they're on the Ryder. I love
it's a different looking ship. But
it is, but I love who the Ryder's named after, and they totally clarify that right off the bat too, because they're out looking for Nowhere, and then they realize that Nowhere is missing. Nova Corps cops show up, and he's explaining, oh yeah, fucking gone. And he's like, oh yeah, this isn't the Milano. He's like, no, this is the Ryder. And he's like, what does he say? After Richard Ryder? And he's like, no, after Winona. And then it's just like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
And then they completely just like get away from the subject, because even the cop's like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, anyways.
That's the charm of Peter Quill, you know, just those little one-liners.
Yep. Yep. So then the Nova Corps, he gets this distress signal, and he's like, Quill's like, I'm coming with. He's like, oh no, I got this. And the distress signal just so happens to be just so happens to be where the Black Order's invading.
Yep.
Quill, he's not gonna listen, so he shows up anyways to the distress signal, and then all this, like, Beta Ray Bill's hammer just comes flying up there, attached to Ghost Rider's chain.
Out of a black hole.
Right, out of a black hole, and then they're like make their way onto a ship, and then they get confronted by the Nova Corps again, and explain that
we need to come aboard and ask these people questions. Sorry, you're not allowed onto my ship.
And he's like, well, but these guys aren't your direct crew, so we technically have jurisdiction over them.
Fine, then these guys are my crew.
Yeah. And then Cosmic Ghost Rider's like, but fuck, like he does not want to be like.
Wait, we're part of this fool's team. Fuck.
Speaking of Cosmic Ghost Rider, holds the best line in all of dialogue all week. Even over Lucifer's line with that line. Cosmic Ghost Rider, when Star Fox is explaining like the whole Thanos thing, Cosmic Ghost Rider's pouring himself a drink, and he goes, I knew I should have shot that fucking baby in the face.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so fun. And dude, and when every line that he delivers, like I hear Bill Burr's voice in my head now. Because
Bill Burr, huh?
Well, it's Donnie Cates said on Twitter, like someone asked me, like, when you're writing Cosmic Ghost Rider, whose voice do you hear? And Donnie Cates says, just picture Bill Burr. And so now I hear Bill Burr's Boston fucking ranting every time. And
but now I have to imagine Bill Burr as the voice of Frank Castle.
Well, that's difficult.
And that's the part that really throws me off.
Yeah.
Huh.
It makes it great, man. It makes it great. It does.
Right.
I'm totally fine with it. But I don't know if he was just Donnie Cates was just fucking around when he said it, but now I hear it, and
now it's stuck.
And when I played it in my head when reading, I'm like, oh, it fucking makes sense. Like I knew I should have shot that fucking baby in the face when I had a fucking like I see it while he's pouring a drink.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, I don't want to be a member of the Guardians of the Facepalm. I see it. I do.
Love this, man. This was everything I wanted it to be.
It is, and that. But there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered here, because they even like go off and say we don't talk about where Rocket's at.
Right.
Where's Rocket? Where the fuck is Darkhawk? Give me some Darkhawk. Like you're gonna learn to love Darkhawk as soon as he shows up. Oh yeah. Super C-list character that's about to be a fucking Guardian of the Galaxy.
I love Darkhawk, but I've never really read anything where he's a central character.
Well, after all of that, and we get like we're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right, we get the Black Order returning with Thanos' body.
And then you realize who sent the Black Order, and it's
Hela.
Fucking Hela. And I like this because
Goddess of Death.
The dialogue here is awesome. They're explaining that we're going to try to resurrect Thanos, and then someone's arguing, but he's with his beloved lady right now to do such a thing would piss off Death. And you do not like go against Death's will, and then you get the Hela reveal, and she's like, "No, I think I'm gonna do it." So, yeah, no, she's I think she's gonna get her ass handed to her. But fucking Thanos is very relevant. I want to know whose body he's hiding in. I don't think it's Gamora's. I think it's gonna be. I mean, Donny Cates is way too fucking brilliant.
I think it's gonna be like some C-list character who's just gonna rise to the ranks that we didn't expect.
It's totally gonna be a complete shocker. It's Donny Cates' writing, man. Like for you to think that he's not gonna deliver a crazy twist.
Right, it's gonna be Venom.
You crazy? Seriously, fucking who?
That would. That'd
no,
be weird.
Carnage. Carnage could be Thanos. Who fucking knows?
Oh God.
Who fucking knows?
That'd be scary.
Yes. That would be very scary. This book lived up to the hype.
Oh yeah,
1,000%.
Hands down.
Yeah, for sure. 1,000%.
But I really like this last one we're going to talk about.
Last book of the week that I read was The Avengers, number 13, Legacy 703. Jason Aaron, Andre Sorrentino, Justin. How do I say that? Ponzor? Ponzor. Yeah, I can't read. And Eric Arcianega, cover by Steve Epting. So what we're getting out of here is the origin of the first Iron Fist, Fan Fei.
Yeah.
So she is in the heaven of Kunlun. She is on trial right now for teaching Earthers the way of the fist.
Teaching those apes martial arts.
And when she goes to be punished by being eaten by a dragon, she punches the dragon in the fucking face.
Yeah, punches through his face.
Yep. And thus, instead of being devoured by the dragon, they just cast her out of Kunlun.
Give her the worst punishment they can.
Yep.
Being exiled.
Banishment. So she's out doing her thing, and then eventually she comes across Mephisto. Mephisto makes an offer. She declines. Mephisto goes to the Gorilla God, directs him towards the way of the Power Stone.
Yep, gives him an Infinity Stone.
We get a Power Stone Gorilla King, and he's pretty fucking OP.
Armor made out of solid diamond.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because he walks around with a diamond club to begin with before he got the Power Stone.
Yeah, but she smashes that to bits, just owing to how powerful she is.
Well, then she goes and explains, like, if I could punch through a dragon, then I can, you know, beat up this guy.
Right.
And they go to, like, hit fists together, and
she comes back battered, bruised, and broken.
Yeah, not as easy as he thought. But it's enough for the ruler of Kunlun to be like, we'll have you back.
Yeah.
You did that was pretty fucking badass. We're not gonna lie.
You've earned your way back in.
You know, yeah, you be back in, and she turns him down. She's like, nah, I got a better offer. And he's like, say word. And you see Odin leading this original team of Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
And it is badass. We get a Black Panther, we get Ghost Rider on a mammoth. I don't know who these other guys are. I want to say that's old Phoenix Force, or like the Phoenix Force Jean Grey.
Yeah, I was looking at this one for a while. I think that's all it could be. The original Sorcerer Supreme.
Ah, yes, I like. Yes, that's badass.
Yep.
There's some good stuff,
yeah,
and
definitely.
I don't know who that would be. Like, I see maybe Nova. That's a Nova. I based off.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
God, I was racking my brain on that one.
So
that would make sense.
Will this issue be relevant next week? No. But the way
in a couple
Jason
weeks,
Aaron,
I'm sure it will be.
I bet you this isn't going to make sense until April. This is leading.
This has kind of been in the same scope that they've been doing for those Thors, and those.
It's all leading up to the War of the Realms, though, and that's all this is.
Oh, for sure.
He's telling this story now because we're gonna get the Vampire War next in Avengers. That's what we're getting. Blade bitches. And so yeah, we're just gonna sweep this under the rug for a bit. But when the War of the Realms comes out, and Fen Shi and Odin come out of nowhere,
we're gonna get some more Mephisto too.
Mephisto, yeah, I would think Mephisto was going to be the tie-in between this arc and the War of the Vampires. To be honest, that's my spec. Who
that would make sense.
Knows? But this is not an irrelevant issue by any means. I just don't think it's an issue that you need to, if you're on a time crunch. Don't read it now. Read it on another smaller week. But it is going to be very, 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 very relevant.
It's a good read. Yeah, I liked it for sure.
Absolutely. I think that's all I read this week that I need to talk about. Unfortunately, this week I don't have any wall books.
No wall books.
I don't. I think subconsciously because my wall's getting full and I don't want to take anything down.
Fair enough.
But there was some good stuff out there, but nothing that really jumped out. None of the artists that I'm collecting. That's gonna change again next week. But
a lot coming out next week that looks real interesting.
There is, that's for sure. But let's move on to the picks of the week. Huh? I think we can both agree that Guardians of the Galaxy was just fucking top notch.
Oh yeah, that's my book of the week for sure.
My overall book of the week goes to Guardians of the Galaxy. My cover of the week is gonna go to Batman with Mikhail Janin. That Batman cover and Constantine and all that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm gonna have to give it to that Alex Ross, the Immortal Hulk.
That's pretty fucking good. That's really fucking good. My interiors are going to go to Robertson with
and Oliver. Yeah,
Oliver.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What about your interiors?
Again, I'm going to have to give it... man. That is a tough one, because I love all the interiors on the Hulk, but... I'm going to say Guardians, just because I got some more... I got some more Cosmic Ghost Rider, and that's ultimately what I've been waiting for.
And then last week we started doing like our favorite first time read, whether it be a number one or a first time pickup.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it would just make sense for it to be Guardians of the Galaxy because that's number one too, and it was our overall pick.
Yeah, but none of those.
I really only had two choices this week, which was Oliver or Guardians. Yeah, and I fucking loved Oliver, but with being that Guardians is my overall, it only makes sense.
Alright. Yeah. Fair enough.
At least for me. Shall we move on to next week's?
Yeah, let's cover what we got.
Do that. So this week the list is definitely a lot heavier.
Yes, it is.
And there's some shit to get excited about. Let's start off with Dark Horse. Fight Club 3, number 1, Chuck Palahniuk and Cameron Stewart. Yeah, Chuck Palahniuk writing fucking comics.
Right on.
Fight Club 3. You're goddamn right. I'm subscribed to this one.
Didn't know there was a Fight Club 2.
Yeah, I didn't read it, but I'm going to be able to jump on right off immediately with this.
Yeah, looking forward to some more Fight Club, for sure.
Alright, DC Comics. Action Comics 1007, Brian Michael Bendis and Steve Epting. I'm subscribed, still waiting for the new arc. I think the new arc starts at 1008.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I'm buying, just not reading yet. I get my Superman out of Superman.
Fair enough.
Batgirl 31, Marguerite Scott, Norm Rapmund, and Paul Pelletier. Alright, I am not reading Batgirl, but I seem to be collecting the covers.
I do have a lot of good covers.
And we got an Art Germ cover. We no longer have Josh Middleton doing the Batgirl covers like he's been killing lately. I'm not an Art Germ fan except for Catwoman, but now apparently I'm an Art Germ fan except for Catwoman and Batwoman. Yeah. That is a fucking gorgeous cover. It's going to look great on the wall.
Yes, it is.
So I could still read all my wall books. Like, I've got, like, the last 7 issues of Batgirl I could probably go through and read, just because of the Josh Middleton variants.
If you pull them down, I might ask to come over and take a read on them.
Maybe. Batman Beyond, number 28.
Dan Jurgens and Norm Rapmund.
And along with Brett Booth as well. I am loving this book.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it as well.
It's a great Bat book.
We got a great Chris Stevens variant cover, too.
Yes. Oh, that is pretty cool. Detective Comics 997, Peter J. Tomasi, Doug Mankey, and Jaime Mendoza. You're reading this.
I am. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Yep. Alright. Flash 63, Joshua Williamson and Jordi Terranova. I'm not reading Flash, but I will be reading the Flash Annual because it's a Hero in Crisis tie-in. So we got a Flash Annual this week by Joshua Williamson and Scott Collins.
I think that's where I'm going to have to jump in on Flash.
Yeah?
So I do want to. I've just been looking for the right time. I think now it's now or never.
I agree. And speaking of Hero in Crisis tie-ins, we get Heroes in Crisis number 5. Tom King and Clay Mann's doing this one.
It's been great so far. I'm looking forward.
I fucking love this book so much. It's weird and not knowing what's happening. Like, everything's such a mystery.
It's pretty slow to roll out, but I mean, the suspense has been worth it so far.
I don't think Tom King's gonna not deliver.
No, I agreed.
Yeah, agreed. This is gonna be dope. Justice League Odyssey number 5, Joshua Williamson,
Mhm.
Carmine Di Giamandincio. Sure, that wasn't right. It might have been, actually. You know what? Let me try that one more time. Carmine Di Giandomenzio. Yep, I said it right the first time. Look at me go. The only Justice League title I'm not subscribed to, which I hear it's the best Justice League title.
Of course,
That's
course.
how it works. So yeah, you get Cosmic Justice League. Speaking of Justice League, we get a Justice League Annual, number 1, Scott Snyder, James Tynion, Daniel Sampere, and Juan Abaron. I'll be reading it. I don't know if I'll be talking about it or not, on account of Scott Snyder likes to twist his stories too much for me to comprehend, to talk about in 20 pages, but...
Would it help if I read this? Maybe we can have some back and forth?
Maybe. I'd probably not.
No?
Not unless you've been reading up until then. I doubt it. This is probably going to be the issue to tie in all the questions I have. Don't know. But okay. I'll read it. I'll let you know. Old Lady Harley, number 4, Frank Thierry and Inaki Miranda. Oh, you're seeing... Oh, number 1. Oh, look at that. James Tynion and a bunch of other people, along with Tom Grummett and a bunch of other people writing Mysteries of Love in Space. That's a DC title. What is this?
Sometimes love can make you feel like you're from another planet, but what if you actually were? Join Superman, the New Gods, Green Lantern, Starro, Hawkgirl, and even the Teen Titans' new sensation Crush for 8 tales of romance that will whisk you to the moon and back.
Oh, we got an 8-part miniseries about love in space with superheroes. Personally, it's a hard pass for me. But
I think I'll pick up the first one, just check it out.
Yeah, right on. No, there's nothing wrong with that. Another annual, Teen Titans, Adam Glass and Ryan Benjamin.
Yep.
Wonder Woman number 63, G. Willow Wilson, Emanuela Lapuccina, and Ray McCarthy. I'm not reading Wonder Woman, but
I'm
a couple
weeks behind. It's not on the top of my list to catch up on.
Yeah, not so much. Let's move into Dynamite, why don't we? We got a number 1, Elvira, Shape of Elvira, Dan Avallone and Frank Solkren. That could be interesting, actually. Number 1, why not jump on it? Oh, shit. James Bond 007 number 3. Greg Pak and Mark Laring. Did they reboot it again?
Yeah, we've read off number 1 and 2 a couple weeks ago.
Fuck. I missed it. I liked the last volume of James Bond I was reading. IDW Publishing, Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons number 4 of 4. Patrick Rothfuss, Jim Zub, and Troy Little. I can't wait to see how this ends. The last issue, Jerry was a badass. Yeah, you heard me. Jerry was a badass.
Can't last for long, I'm sure.
There's no way. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Urban Legends number 9 of 30. Gary Carlson and Frank Fosco. Like I said, this is, I think, Volume 3 retold and eventually will be finished because it was canceled at 24 and now in full color.
Cool.
Image Comics, Ice Cream Man! Yeah! Alright, so, number 9. I've been wanting so badly to jump on this.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about it.
Like, at number 8, it took this long break. Like, we haven't seen Ice Cream Man since October. And I missed it on my pull list. The comic shop only got enough in for the pull list members, and that was my first week as a pull list person for getting the Ice Cream Man to the list.
Right.
So, now I could read Ice Cream Man. Maxwell Prince, Martin Morazzo, and Chris O'Halloran.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this one out.
Yes. Image Comics, Man-Eaters, number 5, Chelsea Kane and Kate Nimsick. I'm not reading Man-Eaters, but I hear good things.
Likewise.
Spawn, 293, Tom McFarlane, Jason Sean Alexander. We inch closer to the coveted issue number 300, which would make Spawn the longest running independent comic book title in the history of comic books. So
cool.
We're not far away now, guys. Plus the story's been fun. I'm finally caught up. The story's been fun. Not fun. Fun's a bad word. Hellish. That's a good word.
Right on.
Infinite Dark.
Number 4. I'm reading this one. Ryan Cady and Andre Moody. It's been a cool take on cosmic horror.
Yeah, man. I've been enjoying your takes on it when I listened to it about it.
I'm not going to say it's a must-read, but I've enjoyed it. Sure. The art style mixed with the writing has been very good.
Cool. Moving along to Marvel, we get Age of X-Men Alpha #1, Zach Thompson, Lottie Nadler, and Ramon Rosanes. So we're gonna get 5 one-shot stories here between now and issue 11 of Uncanny X-Men, explaining all of the fallout happening, and probably the bringing about of the team again. There's going to be, like I said, 5 different titles here. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna read them, but based off of how I feel, I missed some stuff not reading Extinction. I'm not gonna make that mistake again, so I will go ahead and subscribe to the 5 one-shots. I love the fucking Uncanny X-Men shit that's going on right now. I want to know. I want to be a current X-Men, fucking professional knower about her. Like, I feel bad that I can't talk about 90s X-Men and 80s X-Men like I want, but I will be someone that could talk about modern X-Men because of how interesting they've been making Uncanny, and
they've got some great characters. They've had some great teams on them so far, so
yeah, man.
Let's continue with the comics.
Let's do that. Amazing Spider-Man #14, Nick Spencer and Chris Picciolo. So in the last one, we had J. Jonah Jameson confronting Kingpin towards the end there, and yeah, I don't know why this it's got. Apparently, Amazing Spider-Man's bi-weekly now, and I'm okay with that. Give me all my Spider-Man. I fucking read all the Spider-Man you throw at me. Fuck it. Bring it, Marvel. Marvel comic. Alright. Black Panther vs. Deadpool #4. Daniel Kibblesmith and Ricardo Lopez Ortiz. I'm not reading this little team up, but I hear good things. Not necessarily a team up, it's a verse.
That actually sounds like a really interesting read. I might have to bite the bullet here and get caught up on that one.
I think the premise of this is it turns out that Wade Wilson is like 3% Wakandan, and he finds his way to be able to somehow be heir of the throne or something like that. Yeah.
Of course,
something like that.
Well, another one I'm excited about, we got Captain America #7, Tanishi Coates and Adam Kubert.
Fuck yeah, man. I might actually eventually jump on Captain America here. If it could fall on a week that's a smaller week, like if Captain America would have happened this week, or last week, however you want to look at it, then I would have jumped on it. But it's always a big week. Yeah. But I mean, you're explaining it just fine, so I'm okay with that.
I've enjoyed it so far. It's been a slow roll, but there's definitely some big developments happening. So
right on. Speaking of big developments, Dead Man Logan #3 of 12, Ed Brisson and Mike Henderson. So I've been loving this story. Fully subscribed. Can't wait for more. Doctor Strange #10, Mark Waid and a group of various artists. I'm back and forth on Doctor Strange. It started out strong, kind of like slowed down a little bit, but I mean it's not slow enough for me to want to drop, so I think I'm subscribed still. Pretty sure I am. We got a one-shot, Journey into Unknown Worlds, Cullen Bunn, Clay McLeod Chapman, Francesco Mana, and a few others. Don't know anything about this, but a Marvel one-shot, you never know. You could have fun.
Yeah. We're going to finish up a run that we've both been reading. We're probably going to talk about it next week. We've got Man of Fear #5, Jed McKay and Danilo Birth.
Yeah. I'm going to read 3, 4, and 5 all at once. I read 1 and 2 as a cluster, and I'm going to read 3, 4, and 5 and finish it all up. And yeah, hopefully we can find the time to be able to figure all that out.
It's definitely not an action-packed series, but I think #4 at the end had a nice little bit I think you're really going to like.
Sweet. Speaking of wrapping stuff up involving Daredevil, Marvel Knights 20th, #6, Donny Cates and Kim Jacinto. I can't wait to see how this turns out. I've been loving this story. It's finally starting to make sense.
Yeah, definitely. So, looking forward to it.
Super stoked. Miss Marvel #37, G. Willow Wilson and Nico Leone. This is coming to an end soon. We're going to get a reboot. But in the meantime, wrap it up. Punisher #7, Matthew Rosenberg, Sisman Kudansky. This was my 2018 title of the year, so you bet your bottom balls that I'm gonna be reading this motherfucker.
I'd even bet my top one.
Your top one too?
Yeah.
All of them. I'd bet them all.
All three of them.
That's right. Oh, god damn it. West Coast Avenger number 7, Kelly Thompson and Danielle Di Nicuolo. We're both loving this one quite a bit. I don't want to say guilty pleasure because it's not bad. It's just not like something that I would suspect that I would normally read.
It's that, like, not super serious story, just something that is fun.
Yeah. Weapon H number 12, Greg Pak and Guia Villanova. This has been crazy. They're teamed up with Man Thing and fucking, what do they call it? Not Otherworlds. I can't remember that. God, it's been a while since his titles come out. I feel like it's been like a 6-week break. Yeah. We're getting X-Force number 2, Ed Brisson and Dylan Burnett. Are you going to go with number 2 on this one? I read number 1 and I wasn't sure where it was going to go.
I think I'm going to give it one more. It was good. It wasn't great.
Gotcha.
We'll see. I mean,
I felt the same way.
We'll see how it goes.
Like, I was like, does this book really need my money? I got so much X stuff happening right now. It's just X-Force.
I'm gonna give it another one.
X-Force without Deadpool just kind of, I don't know. Let's move into Boom Studios. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 35, Marguerite Bennett and Simone de Mayo. I have been reading. I don't think I like Mighty Morphin as much as Go-Go now that the Shattered Grid story's up, but I'm still reading Mighty Morphin, so yeah, curious to see where it goes. It has me intrigued, that's for sure.
Right on.
I know there was one more in the Independents. It was Dynamite. It was Bloodshot Rising Spirit number 3. Where it be? I just saw it. Whatever. But that's all I got next week. There's a lot of stuff though. There's Valiant, not Dynamite, Valiant. Jeez, sorry nerds. Kevin Graveau and Ken Lashley. I very much enjoyed the first 2 issues, so I'm reading it, and I'm glad to be able to jump on a Valiant title early. I hope this is an ongoing, because I don't think there's anything else.
It has that feel to it. I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's if it's like a mini series, then it's gonna end like super fucking strong and like mind-blowingly, because the first 2 is just slowly leading up and developing. No, I feel like this is like a reboot type of thing.
Yeah, it has like the long con feel to it for sure.
I'm enjoying it regardless.
Yeah.
So, with all that being said, final thoughts this week?
Read more comics.
Always read more comics. I do have something to say.
What's that?
I follow Mr. Matthew Rosenberg very closely on Twitter. I am a super fan, if you will. And he decided that he's going to leave Twitter for obvious reasons. One would leave Twitter. But I'm bummed. For a lot of reasons. One, he does a great job interacting with fans. I enjoy the conversations with him via Twitter. He gives us as a podcast a lot of credit. I mean, he's retweeted us a few times. I found it is cool.
He actually interacts with people constantly.
And being somebody that's met him, he's a fucking incredibly nice dude. I've been seeing a lot of the shit that people have been posting shitting on Rosenberg. And a lot of the shit is for shit that he's not even involved with.
Right. The 2 storms.
Yeah. And the annual people are like, The thing is, so when people are mad as a fan, and when you're mad that the story's not going in your direction, I understand, especially being a super fan of something, you don't like what happened with Cyclops, being a super fan of Cyclops. Like, if they were to they fucked with Tony Stark and Marvel for a while, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I flipped out. But, the thing is there's a million different people that have 100 different ideas as far as, the way to take a character's direction.
Sure.
And the fact that it comes down to who makes the choice of whose idea it is. So if you really want to direct your hatred at someone, if you really want to be a Twitter troll, don't go after the creators. You go after the publishers. You go after the editors, the ones that say, no, we're taking it this way. It's not the writers that no, we're taking it this way. They present an idea, along with a bunch of other creators presenting different ideas, and then the publisher just goes, I like this direction.
Yeah.
Don't
go after anybody. If you have something negative to say it in a kind, conversative way.
Well,
don't hide behind your fucking internet shield and become a dick.
Well, that's beyond that. I would think that's common sense,
right,
but that's unavoidable now. We're going to get the shit. No matter what, we're going to get the fucking shitheads that have to keyboard troll. With that being said, just know where to direct it, because the publishers, they don't have feelings. They don't give a fuck. The creators, these guys do this out of joy. There's no payday in this for them. Like, it's if you sell the top selling book of the year as a writer, you made 35 grand off that book. Meanwhile, the fucking businessman that has a fucking Action Comics #1 slabbed is keyboard trolling fucking poor little Matthew Rosenberg, who just wants to tell a version of his X-Men story or his Punisher story or whatever.
He's entertaining us by doing something that
right.
he and
People
we love.
shitting on Donny Cates for the direction that Venom's going in. Everybody has what they want out of Venom. I think Donny Cates personally has the most interesting way. I don't know where the fuck he's going with this, but I like the way he tells a fucking story.
Agreed.
And for this being a complex story, I'm separating from the point here. The point is there's always going to be angry people out there.
Of course.
It's just, I can't say it enough. Don't go after the writers and the artists and the creators. First, people, as artists make mistakes, writers make mistakes, they write themselves in the corner sometimes. But the fact is that the publisher allowed it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it comes down to. The publisher and the editor allowed it. Know who to blame.
And just because you don't like something in a comic book, it's not forever, okay? Like, nobody likes, this evil Captain America. It didn't last. He's back.
And
you don't like it, don't buy it.
And another point I want to make is, if you think your idea is so much better than what's being published, the fact is you didn't work as hard. These writers work, and these artists, they work their you have no idea how hard it is to do what they do. I know the struggle because I'm attempting it myself. Like, this is extremely fucking difficult. And if you think that you could just sit in your fucking lazy boy and, shit out some random theory about how you think Venom is better, and it's 180 degrees of what's being written right now, it's your fault for not working as hard to get to where these writers are, to be at the top of the list, for the publisher to go, I choose you. Because they don't fucking see you right now. All they see is you driving away their talent. And comics suffer because of those types of fans. So with that, my final thought is, fuck you, trolls. So, subscribe.
Find us on social media. No, you have a good point, man. It's sad, that Matthew Rosenberg is going to have to leave Twitter. Thousands of fans are not going to have that personalized interaction with him anymore because a few bad eggs just can't stop the negative.
Misdirected their hate. And the hate's going to be
I'm
there
sure it's been a
regardless.
long ball that's been relayed.
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely. The guy's been writing Uncanny for, he's had to deal with this for 10 straight weeks of backlash. I've loved every fucking bit of it.
Yeah,
I like
agreed.
new ideas. I do. I like this new direction. I like all of this.
I love being surprised every week.
Absolutely. And if you want to fucking read the same stories that you've already heard before, or you don't like the direction, then go back and buy the trades. You don't have to be... If you're going to be a person that purchases comics just to find a reason to shit on someone, then I don't think the industry really wants your money, because you're doing more hurt than anything. For every $4 you spend and put out a shitty blog, you're probably costing Marvel $1,000. For every $4. That's a bullshit number I pull out of my ass, but it goes to show that you're stop buying. Read the trades. Read what you like.
If you're finding no joy, just drop it.
Yeah, seriously. There's no place for fucking hate in comic books. This is supposed to be a joyous thing. There's no place for that shit.
I think there's plenty of room for criticism, but be conversative about it.
Exactly.
Don't be hateful. Don't be spiteful. Don't attack people.
Yeah, not on a personal level, for sure. Definitely don't attack creators on a personal level. That's fucking low.
And be kind to the other critics out there too. If you are on Twitter and you say that I don't like X, and somebody else has a rebuttal, have a kind conversation. You don't have to have a war.
No.
Anyway, we digress.
No. For sure.
Everybody, enjoy some comics. We will
Yeah.
see you, hear you. We won't hear you. You'll hear us next week. Geek responsibly.
Yeah, man. I do gotta remind everybody that we're on YouTube now.
Yeah,
that's new. So
Podbean.
we gotta get your subscriptions on YouTube. Otherwise, the usual places: Facebook, Twitter, fucking Patreon, all that good shit. In the meantime, remember that we're giving away a comic this week. So I hope you've been listening, because we're gonna have something throughout this podcast that you're going to have to pull out in order to receive this fucking book that's probably going to be worth more money by the time you get it than it is when I ship it out to you. So, with that being said, read responsibly, my friend. It's see you next week.
Yeah, can't wait to nerd out with you.
For sure, lots of good stuff. Cheers.
Cheers.